Now on to question 2. Your book focuses on surveillance within the workplace. How has the monitoring of employees changed in recent years? Well, those 2 points I made when responding to question 1 about the purpose and the consequences of surveillance, if you like, apply in particular in the workplace. That idea that bosses are watching employees to see what kind of employee they are and how good they are, if you like. Now, as I mentioned earlier, those are perennial concerns. What's particularly interesting about the workplace, though, is the way in which those types of activity have been achieved, whether it's through the physical presence of an overseer, which of course is a derivation of the word surveillance, but also the way that then that classification and monitoring might be embedded in the technology of production. Now, both of those things require people to be brought together in a single place, a workplace, a factory, or an office. But of course, something that we've witnessed, in fact, with great intensity recently, as the COVID epidemic has meant that people have increasingly worked from home, what we've found is that those kinds of activities of classification evaluation, if you like, can be done remotely. They can be done almost anywhere that the person is working. And that liberates the organization from that idea of concentrating people's activities in one single place so we can keep an eye on them, if you like, to meaning that surveillance of the employees can take place in various different places, the home, whilst traveling, even when we're at family events somewhere. Now, of course, that worries some people. Indeed, it should, because we used to in the past think that we could erect that kind of boundary between our working life and our private lives. And so those kinds of boundaries are definitely being eroded. But perhaps more importantly, it's that more aspects of our life are being appropriated by the organizations that we work for. Many years ago, Lewis Koser used the term greedy organizations, which I particularly like. Organizations are becoming greedier in the sense that they require more of our time, more of our effort. And that goes to the very basis about why organizations do for surveillance in the first place, which is they are trying to get us to work at our maximum capacity for the longest amount of time. And of course, that's something which we've experienced very recently as well, through that process of surveillance, which extends beyond the workplace into the home. It means that that more and more of our lives are subject to that kind of scrutiny, and increasingly more and more of our lives are turned into fodder for our organizations.